Hey everybody, Yankee here. You know, I consider myself kind of an amateur gunsmith. I've worked on a lot of guns in my life. I've taken apart more guns than most people have ever held in their hands. A lot of times more than most people have seen. A lot of people. So I know a thing or two about them. If you don't think I know anything about guns, go back through my history of videos and look at some of the things I've done with my own guns and see if you think you could do it. Not blowing my own horn, just saying it's one of my big interests, and I'm a pretty mechanical guy. But the key word there is still amateur. I'm an amateur gunsmith. I don't know everything. Not even close to everything. There are so many people that know way more than me. And I can say something that can be wrong. But you know who I do think I know more than? Well, a lot of these people on the internet that want to make hay for themselves, make, people pay attention to them, who want to say, oh, look at the P320, it's got manufacturing defect issues and tolerance issues, and oh, they sub out their triggers. Like almost every major company subs out parts, hate to break it to you. And I've had Sig P320s apart on my desk many times. I've taken the firing control units, the FCUs apart many times. Haven't seen any of these issues these people are talking about. Don't even know if they know what they're talking about. And I've had an open challenge for quite a while now for any of them to come in and try to show otherwise. No one's going to do it. I've had a couple people say, oh, can we pre-tape a show and you can talk to me about it? And I'm like, no, we can't pre-tape one. We can do one live on your channel to where there's people seeing it live. Everyone can have a copy of it, etc. But I'm not pre-taping something that you can edit and then put up however you want and you're the only person that's ever seen it. Not doing that. But I'll come on your show live or you can come on mine. And that still stands. Anyone that thinks they can show that a P320's ever gone off on its own or could go off on its own, come on in. Because no one's ever seen that and definitely no one's ever proven that. And no, the military is not like, oh, launching a big, look into the guns, a big inquiry. No, they're not. In fact, the military actually released a statement to their soldiers saying the guns are safe, we've looked into it, we'll continue to look into it. If anything changes, we'll let you know, but the guns are safe. Everybody's just filling videos with conjecture, hysteria, and outright lies at times. So those people, pretty sure I know more about them than guns because they're illustrating that they don't. And they're also illustrating that they're Bloomberg pawns by trying to damage one of our major gun manufacturers for nonsense. But, like I said, I could be wrong because I'm not an expert. I don't know everything. And, someone that knows way more about triggers than I do, well, that'd be Bruce Gray from GRAYGUNS. He knows way more about triggers, the mechanics of guns, the geometry of guns, everything that I know. And I want to read a statement that he just put out about the Sig P320. And I'm going to read a section of it here verbatim because I don't want to try to paraphrase what he said. So bear with me here. My reading comprehension I don't think is what it used to be. I've had a few head injuries in my life. No fewer than 8 concussions. So let me read this here best I can without my glasses. At GRAYGUNS, we don't take anything for granted. We test, we push, and we go beyond normal use conditions to find out what a firearm is truly capable of. Over the years, in controlled environments, we have deliberately attempted to compromise the mechanical safeties of the P320, looking for ways an unattended discharge could occur. Despite those efforts, we have never been able to induce a discharge without the trigger being actuated. True statement. That does not mean people are wrong to be asking questions. In other words, you're wrong, but you can ask the question. The fact that we have not been able to make it happen does not change the reality that people believe it's happening. We understand that too, and because of that, we are going to continue to explore every scenario, no matter how implausible it may seem. If there is a way for a failure to occur, we want to find it, understand it, and make sure people who depend on this firearm have the information they need. Please know that at this moment, every single person at GRAYGUNS still has faith that a Sig P320 cannot fire without the trigger being acted on by something. The confidence is built on years of testing, evaluation, and our own first-hand experience with the platform. And that's Bruce Gray from GRAYGUNS. He's spoken out on this because he's gotten sick of it too. Because like I said, it is all conjecture, it's all hysteria, and people go, oh, they lost a lawsuit, they must be bad. Juries hate gun manufacturers. And the reason that they found Sig liable is because they said, you didn't put a manual safety on the gun. There's no manual safety. So if someone shoots themselves with it, it's your fault because there's no manual safety. Do you agree with that? Do you agree anytime someone shoots himself with a gun that doesn't have a manual safety, that that's enough to make the gun manufacturer liable? Would someone who speeds in their car and crashes and kills someone or themselves, would the car manufacturer be liable because you didn't make the car to where it wouldn't go faster than the speed limit? You should have made it to where it wouldn't go that fast. That's the same mindset. Who would agree with that? But like I said, people fall for this stuff, and they're doing the work of Bloomberg and the anti-gunners. But people who know what they're talking about, me, I do believe I'm one of those, have said, this hasn't happened. I haven't been able to find that it happened. Haven't seen it happen. Haven't seen anyone that has seen it happen. Or knows that it happened. But a lot of people sure do talk about it. And then you got someone like Bruce Gray who knows way more than I do, saying basically the same thing. And I guarantee you he's tested a lot of guns. I had someone in my chat say, well, but the people that were prosecuting, on this, they only had like 6 guns they could use to test, and they weren't able to make a failure because they had so few guns. If they had more guns, they'd see failures. Gray Guns has seen tons of these guns, tested them, can't even force a failure. And Sig Sauer offered to do independent testing with a couple hundred guns if they wanted them. The people prosecuting Sig Sauer didn't want to do that, because they knew that would hurt their case, because they would be able to show that these do not go off without the trigger being actuated, and there's no way you can make it do it. That's why they didn't want to do that. So people let themselves be fooled by stuff like that, instead of actually paying attention to the fact that it hasn't gone off on its own, hasn't been shown to go off on its own, period. The one video with the cop where it went off in his holster, it's clearly way out of his holster, and when it gets slammed back down in, it goes off because he's got shit all over his belt, his shirt's loose. The trigger was actuated. That's what happened. And if you read the report, before then, he had just unholstered his gun and then put it back in right as he was getting ready to wrestle with the guy, because the guy was fighting him. So that case means nothing. The guy getting out of the car, the cop getting out of the car, you can hear him draw his weapon on the tape. And then it goes off. And he claims, never touched it. What's funny, you can hear it being drawn. And you can't see anything in the video. But there's so many people who have like sort of a Sig Sauer Mandela effect to think that that video showed the gun and the holster going off. No, it didn't. Period. You've been brainwashed by the Bloombergites and the gun people doing the Bloomberg's business. So it ain't happening. It's like someone asked me in my chat tonight, why haven't they been having this problem with the P365? It's the same system. Well, you know why they haven't? Because cops don't carry the P365. That's the problem. The police that don't know what they're doing. These self-assured, cocky assholes who know nothing about guns or how to handle them, but cannot admit they did something wrong because they're special and infallible. They're the problem. If cops carried P365s, you'd be seeing a lot of negligent discharges from P365s. Just like you saw a lot of them from Glocks when they carried Glocks. And as far as NDs go, people say, oh, the military's had such a spike. No, they haven't. They've said themselves there has been no noticeable or recorded spike in NDs in the past decade. That it's been pretty consistent. So this is all crap and people keep repeating it. But like I said, I will continue to offer a challenge to anyone to come into my chat and show evidence otherwise to back up the lies you make in your videos. And like I said, Bruce Gray obviously doesn't like your lies either and doesn't believe your bullshit because he knows what he's talking about way more than me and definitely way more than you. So for those of you out there that worry about the P320, don't worry about it. If you don't like it, don't buy one. I don't buy them. I wouldn't own one. I don't like striker fired guns. The very fact it doesn't have the safety on the trigger is why I wouldn't want to carry it. It's too easy to fire it. But that's what it's designed to do. That's not a flaw. That's a feature. And I think most gun people who know anything about guns can recognize that. And can recognize that that jury saying, well, because there's no manual safety, it's the gun's fault and the manufacturer's fault. That's bullshit. And if you support that, well, then you might as well go over and suck Bloomberg's balls because you're doing his job. As like I said, people who know what they're talking about, like me, and people who know way more than me are saying this hasn't happened. They can't even see how it could happen. And don't believe the shit you hear. Ever even known, especially these little chicken shit guys that, God damn it, why can't I say chicken shit? Hey everybody, Yankee here. I'm old and I really amateur gunsmith. I've seen most people have ever even seen or held. So, hey everybody, Yankee here. Open contest. God damn, open contest. Been doing this for a very long time. This is something, God damn, my hat keeps falling down my eyes. I've taken away more, God damn. But you know what, who from GRAYGUNS. God damn, I would have to defer to someone else on. God damn, can I get this?